Is Kai Sotto ready for the NBA? After going through his second full season in Japan B-League, Kai Sotto has shown some improvements in his game, but as an overall basketball player, Kai Sotto is still lacking in certain areas. In today's video, we will talk about what Kai Sotto has done well this season and what he can improve on to be considered as a modern-day NBA player. And guys, if you are passionate and love the game of basketball, this is the channel for you. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button, as I will be making basketball videos for you guys every week. So don't miss out. And now, let's get to this video, dog. With the NBA season coming into an end, free agency and the NBA draft is approaching. We all know that about 2 years ago, Kai Sotto went undrafted for whatever reason. Some people are still salty about how he wasn't drafted, or even how his former management handled it. Some people even said that maybe the Australian team that he was playing with was working with his agent for him to not get drafted, to come back and play one more season in NBL. There was definitely a lot of noise around his management when it comes to the decision making that they were making for Kai, especially during the draft, where in hindsight it all makes sense how Kai had to let them go, because if you look at it, it seems like they had their own agenda that Kai did not know about. In my humble opinion, Kai Sotto entered the draft quite early. When he entered the draft, he was only 19 years old, and apparently there was 2 teams that was interested on drafting him. Correct me if I'm wrong on the comment section, but one of these teams was the Indiana Pacers, I believe. But apparently his management at that time did not want him to be drafted in the second round, or with the conditions that the Pacers had for him if he was ever drafted by them. This move cost him on not being drafted at all and not being able to participate in the Summer League in 2022. Enough with the off-court BS. Let's start with his offensive game and what he did well this season. Offensively, Kai Sotto showed us this season what he can do off the pick and roll. I would say almost about 80% of his points this season is coming from the pick and roll situation. For the most part, rolling to the basket has worked very well for him, whether that's coming from a bounce pass situation, alley-oop, or getting putbacks off of it. This is where majority of Kai's points came from this season. Unfortunately, rolling to the basket is one way of playing off a pick and roll. What happens if the defense takes that roll away from him? And to be honest with you guys, I have not seen that type of adjustment from Kai when rolling to the basket was taken from him. In the NBA or in professional basketball in general, you have to have a counter just in case if the defender, actually not just in case, but when the defender takes away your primary moves. Yes, he did show a glimpse of it, but for the most part, when you take the roll away from Kai, it's kind of a dead end for him, and I would like to see him work on a counter. A counter that he can add in this situation is a pick and pop. Kai Sotto has shown that he can shoot the ball, especially off a catch and shoot in a pick and pop situation. Catch and shoot should be very doable for Kai. Shooting wise, Kai has shown that he could also shoot threes. In today's NBA, bigs are able to spread the floor by shooting threes. Majority of the time, bigs are able to hit threes off a pick and pop. Bigs such as Brook Lopez, Nikola Jokic, and Joel Embiid are able to hit threes consistently. Now, I am not saying Kai Sotto has to be like them when it comes to their overall game, but will help Kai's game reach the next level. There is nothing wrong with what he is doing right now. The type of game he has offensively is great within Asia. I believe Kai Sotto can do way more things on the court, and it is very doable for him to make these adjustments to become a modern-day NBA player. A lot of his success, you can also give credit to his point guard right now in Yoki Kawamura. Kawamura is doing a great job on feeding Kai in pick and roll. I believe he hasn't had this type of point guard in his professional basketball career. You can also say that Kai is being spoon-fed majority of his points by Kawamura. He has to be self-efficient and not depend on his point guard to either score or make an impact in the game. We've seen this repeatedly in the NBA where bigs has relied on their point guards to make an impact in the game. If Kai Sotto becomes this type of big, it can either make or break his NBA career or just his professional basketball career in general. A great example of an NBA player that relied on his point guard is Blake Griffin. When Chris Paul came to the Clippers, Blake Griffin's career went to the next level. as he was getting lobs, bounce passes, and just overall being found by a great point guard in Chris Paul. Once Blake Griffin left and went on to his next teams, which is Detroit and Brooklyn, that man, he was not the same without Chris Paul. This guy could not do the same things as what he used to do with the Clippers. He was a human highlight reel. With Chris Paul, he was able to find. Chris Paul has made a lot of people's career, and he doesn't get enough credit out of that. And this is not the same thing that you want to happen with Kai Sotto when he gets to the next level. So it is very important for him to start working on certain things and become self-efficient as a big man. At the end of the day, Kai Sotto is still 22 years old. He can still work on a lot of things where he can be self-efficient and not rely on his point guards. Kai already showed some improvements this season, and even certain things that we didn't know about him. We knew that Kai had a great feel around the basket, but this season, he also showed that he has great hands and touch all around as a big man. This is very rare for a big to have the type of touch Kai Sotto has around the basket. He was able to catch a lot of tough passes, man, especially off the pick and roll, and still either catch the ball or finish around the basket as he was catching it. This shows how good of an eye coordination Kai Sotto has. If he gets lucky and Kai gets a chance to be with a great point guard like Kawamura in the NBA or in the NBA Summer League, there's a great chance that he will show similar results as what he did in Japan B League. Obviously, the NBA has better players and better athletes compared to Japan, but at the end of the day, basketball is basketball, yo. But what about you guys? What do you guys think? Let me know, and don't be afraid to chica on the in the comment section, and let's make this a conversation and comment down below. And also, if you guys made it at the end of this video, I really appreciate you, man. This means a lot. And if you have any suggestions on what type of videos I should make, comment down below and I'll take a screenshot of that, and I will make sure I will shout you out on the next video. Okay? And if you haven't done so, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel, and we will see you on the next video.